Well, get used to seeing this series on my channel page. There's over 1,400 games here, and we're averaging 3 per episode. At the rate we're going, it's gonna take 466 episodes to get through this. This is gonna be my equivalent to Northern Lion playing The Binding of Isaac for 10 years. I'm not actually gonna play all of these. That would be madness, but anyway, here's a game that needs no introduction. It's Burger Time. The happiest place on earth, or whatever. So, this one was made by Data East, that company that haunted JonTron in one of his first videos, all the way back in 2012. I was rewatching that today. I was just thinking, whenever you try to go back and watch your favorite content creators from 10, 15 years ago, there's always this air of, wow, this just totally sucks shit. Seems like old school JonTron was definitely more of an AVGN parody. Not a very good one at that. Oh, look, I'm gonna do a cool move. Look what I can do. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. But anyway, yeah, so, every low-effort AVGN parody has to have a game that's either, like, extra bad or, like, haunted or something, and so, JonTron had the haunted Joe and Matt cartridge, and it would glow red, and it would make the Data East jingle whenever he touched it, and ooh, scary video games, blah, blah. So much of the stuff we watched growing up was just utter gobshite. So anyway, speaking of burgers, I was reading the news the other day, and they mentioned that Burger King is struggling financially, and at first I felt kind of sad about it, I was all nostalgic about 2000s era Burger King, and all the times I used to go there, and I'd get the double stack, and all the cool toys they had. They had the SpongeBob set where there was like, 20 different SpongeBobs you could collect, and just thinking, man, what a bummer that Burger King might not be around in 5 to 10 years. But then I actually tried eating there. In my opinion, just did a total 180. I mean, dear God, I had this thing. It was like a chicken parm on a bun, basically. I would describe it as, like if you've ever walked out of a movie in theaters when the movie wasn't finished. It's like taking that kind of energy and channeling it into a sandwich. Just this pure, like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Just, I surrender. It didn't help that the fries were soggy, too. Just what the hell happened, Burger King? You used to be so damn good at these things, and now look at you. Just this sad, pitiful, soggy garbage. What the heck happened?
You need to stop calling me.
So anyway, I think you get the gist of what Burger Time is about. We're moving on to a new thing now, and now the people of the world can't get their burgers. They're giant stepped-on burgers. I named my high score Spa because Spa was written under the lettering, and it reminded me of that thing from It's Always Sunny. Spa? What is that? Are you trying to say like spaghetti? Nobody knows what I'm talking about, but that's okay. Anyway, I did manage to get to the 3rd level of Burger Time a few times, but since it never got filmed, I guess that doesn't really do anybody any good, does it? What do they say? If a tree falls in the forest, is anybody something or other? Who the hell cares? So here's Bomb Jack, not to be confused with Mighty Bomb Jack. There is nothing mighty here. We're all just a bunch of limp-wristed weenies. So the big set piece of this game is that you can do a slow fall if you mash the A button while you're falling, and it gives you fantastic maneuverability. However, we're playing this through a capture window, so Any benefit that we could have had is more or less non-existent. This is objectively the dumbest way to play this. So, I guess the implication of this one is the main character, he has to go to all of the World Heritage sites and defuse the explosives. I don't rightly like the implication of that. That definitely sounds like something a clickbaity YouTuber could exploit. What are all these bombs doing in famous locations? I can picture the thumbnail already. Someone could take like a picture of Ted Kaczynski and like Photoshop him so that he's wearing the Mighty Bomb Jack uniform with like the blue headpiece and the cape. And then the title would say, "This game has a dark implication." That's all YouTube is anymore. Just clickbait. Except for right here, what you see is what you get. No clickbait to be found. You can tell it's terrible without even watching it. Yep-a-roni. There was a lawsuit with this game a couple of years, well, many years ago I should say, because apparently one of the background music songs sounded like a Beatles song. You know, the Beatles are very protective of their work. Oh, the mighty bomb jack has stolen our music. But by the time this game came out, half the Beatles were already gone anyway. Just imagining Ringo announcing that to a room and then looking around him and there's just nobody there. And, oh yeah, I forgot. You know, speaking of which, I saw a stand-up comedy act once. And the comedian had a guitar. He was going to play a song, and he said, "Here's a little song that was the last song John Lennon ever wrote. He was halfway through writing it when he died." And he starts strumming the guitar, and he goes, "What's that in your hand?" It was funnier at the time. So yeah, if you get the power-ups, the enemies turn into coins with pictures of ducks on them. That's creative, I guess. Yeah. What do you think the fourth level looked like? We went to the pyramids. We went to the Parthenon. We went to Neuschwanstein. But stupid idiots like me can't get any farther than that, so we'll never know. Maybe the fourth level was your mom's house. Oh. Did I remember to turn the microphone on? Gosh, I hope so. Yeah, I did. Okay, so next up, since the rights to the Namco games aren't back, and we can't play Pac-Man, we'll just play Rip-Off Pac-Man. It's just as good. Just as good. Uh-oh, here comes Discount Pac-Man. So the key distinction between Marvin's Maze, which is what we're playing right now, and Pac-Man is, in this version, you have a laser. This is like if Pac-Man was packing heat, so to speak. That's where the pack comes from. It's like Pac-Man is... No, that sucks. That would have been the worst joke ever. Thank goodness I didn't actually say it. Anyway, so I guess the big design flaw is the enemies are always behind you, it seems. And then, to fire the laser, they would have to be in front of you. So your best bet to shoot at the enemies is to do a quick turn, as it were. And also, those pipes that take you from one section of the level to the other are a bit inconvenient for when you just want to round the corners, you know? Damn, son, did you see how close that thing was to our hitboxes a second ago? It's like that thing from SpongeBob where the guy was getting chased by the robot. So yeah, I'm surprised SNK made this, out of all companies. I mean, most people typically associate them with fighting games, so The fact that they made a Pac-Man ripoff is very odd. I guess they did have a bit more variety to what they used to make in the early days. A very experimental phase, as it were. So with the double-stacked layout of these levels, it kind of reminds me of old school red and blue 3D, how they would have the same image twice, just in two different colors and stacked on top of each other. You think there's a secret message in here, perhaps, if you watch this with 3D glasses? Probably not. Speaking of 3D, I read once that in the early days of development for the GameCube, there was the possibility that they were going to have some kind of 3D function for GameCube games. Obviously, that never came to be, but you gotta wonder how that would work in the age of CRTs. I mean, on something unlike the 3DS, it's just one screen that Nintendo chooses for you. So it's obvious how they can do 3D there, but how would you do 3D when the user supplies their own TV from their own manufacturer of their choosing? So yeah, nothing too spectacular about Marvin's Maze. I guess you could colloquially call it Pack Heat Man, 'cause of a laser.